anxiety is what we are talking about today. Anxiety. Now, if you are someone who suffers with anxiety, I think the majority of us all do, but some people suffer with it a hell of a lot more than others. And I get anxiety over things like making plans. Yeah. So every time I make a plan, I'm like, yes, I'm going to do this. Yes. And then the second it starts to sink in that I've arranged or I've planned this, cat just getting inside the bag there, and I'm oblivious to it because I'm trying to see if there's any spiders inside my glove before I put them on. By the time it's sunk in, I start to think, oh no, have I done the right thing? Am I being selfish doing this? Is it going to ruin such and such other plan? Am I being ridiculous? I panic. Is it going to cost too much? Am I neglecting another area because I'm now focused on this area? And it just completely consumes you. So the other night I had the worst anxiety I've had in years. I went to bed. I was like, right, just go sit in bed, play my Roblox, build my house, improve it because my character is living in squalor. And I was like, no, I'm going to sit and do this. Anyway, while I'm doing it, these thoughts were popping into my head uncontrollably. Uncontrollable, intrusive thoughts that were making me feel physically sick. And in the end, they don't even make sense, these thoughts. So in the end, I ended up with heart racing. I felt like the world was coming to an end. Like it was literally like we were about to be struck off the face of the earth. And I was in a panic. My heart was racing. I felt shakes. I felt like I had so much adrenaline in me. I felt like I needed to run the marathon, but I was so consumed with dark thoughts that I was literally sat on this flipping sofa, like I couldn't move. Like I was literally being held down against my will. And just to having to sit there, it's like, you will have these thoughts, Gabby. You will. We're going to plant these bad thoughts in your head. So now I've got it in my head that I wish I could just be invisible. I just want to be invisible because you know why? What it's done is this whole, I'm not going to go into it again, but because it's the whole Thursday thing. So Thursday's coming up and it's triggered it. That's what's triggered it. And I'm now suffering with my body dysmorphic disorder all over again. I've been fighting it my entire life. I reached just over a year ago a point of, I don't care what anyone thinks. Underneath I do. It's hard to describe, but it was like, it's easier just to be like, just don't care for a bit. I know it's easier said than done, but for people out there that suffer with body dysmorphic disorder, I think you will get this. You do have moments where you think, I mentally and physically can't do this anymore. I have to just let it go. And you kind of get comfortable, not entirely, but you get comfortable enough to be able to just get by. You can't allow yourself to look too deep into it. You can't allow yourself to try and get dressed up and things like that, because that's when it starts creeping back in. Well, basically, I'm trying to think about what I'm going to wear, how I'm going to present myself for my one and only chance in a lifetime. And boom, everything I looked at, don't like it on me, don't like it on me, I look awful, nope, don't like that, I need to change my look completely. That's it, I need to shave my head, I need to wear a wig, I can't wear a wig, I'm going to look ridiculous. Because I can't afford a decent wig and I'm not doing it. No. So anyway, it's escalated to all of these things. Why? I can't even give the answer to that. It's basically in my head, this is what's been going on. Do I want to be seen? The only time I'm going to be seen. Do I want to be seen like this? No. Am I ready to be seen like this? No. Can't you just give me a bit of time so that I can have a bit of plastic surgery, change me hair, go to the salon, get some dental work done, maybe slim down my nose because that's absolutely huge, and just be like, let me go clothes shopping, feel a bit better about myself. That might help. That might help. Yes, I know I sound selfish. I know I sound ridiculous, and there's a million things on this planet that are way more important than how I feel about myself. But I haven't felt like this for about over a year, as I've said, and it's come back with vengeance. So yeah, that's kicked in. And this only kicked in because I started having really bad anxiety, and then my brain went to dark places. And my darkest place is my body dysmorphic disorder. It is. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, right, no, I need to do something. Anyway, I ended up in floods of tears, like uncontrollable. You know when you can't breathe, you're like that. That's what you're doing, because you're just literally beside yourself. And this was over thoughts that don't even relate to the situation I'm in. I was having thoughts like, I've got to send the kids to school on Monday. What if something bad happens? Oh my God, they're going to get older. They're going to get older. And I'm not going to be there for them all the time. What if they're stuck? I watched the film Buried, didn't I? Or as Joachim would say, Buried. I watched that film. And I didn't know what to expect. I was like, okay, I'll give this a go. I didn't know that the entire film was going to be inside this coffin with Ryan Reynolds. The entire film, from start to finish. There's no other scene. I'm not a claustrophobic. I am a claustrophobic person, but I say in like a standard kind of like how everyone would be. I'm not an extreme. The only time I feel a little bit is if it's been longer than a couple of minutes. Then I start to freak out. But I instantly felt horrific watching this film. So a couple of nights later, after watching it, when I'm having my horrible anxiety attack, I'm there like, oh, what if my eldest is in that situation? What do I do? How on God's earth is my eldest ever going to be in that situation? You know? And why my eldest? So then I started questioning it. Why am I thinking of my eldest? Does that mean something? And this is how it goes on. It plays on over and over and over again. I had thoughts about my second son going to Dubai, because he's all up for travelling the world, and that's the kind of place that he would absolutely love to go. And I had this thought in my head, literally, it only lasted about 3 seconds. 3 seconds, I will add to this. I had this vision that he went to Dubai to take photos of cars and was arrested, and he was never to be released. And that was it. That set me off again. So I'm now sitting there with visions in my head of all my 5 children having the worst experiences, and to me, it's all going to happen. In that moment, it's all going to happen. That's what's going to happen. How do I sort this? Yeah, so I ended up putting up a post on Instagram after Googling for a very long time and nothing was working. And I just said, can anyone please help? I put it on my stories, just say, please, can anyone got any relief? Anything to ease anxiety? Because it was literally, as I say, through the flipping roof. My nephew's girlfriend, God love her, she messaged me a 333 method. Anyway, I tried it. I sat there, I was like, right, I can focus on the feeling, focus on the hearing. And what was the other one? Focus on the seeing. I can't remember what it was now. I was sat there doing all sorts. I was sniffing. I was like, focus on the smells. Sounds, touch. Yeah, I was there doing it. And then I went off into the kitchen. I started doing it out there. I looked like a flipping nutter, standing in my kitchen, stroking the worktop with my eyes closed, going, breathe, Gabby, breathe. That's what I was doing. I mean, what has life become? What has life become? Yeah. And then I remember watching this video of Life in the Cottage, and I remember her having anxiety, and I remember her saying that I can't remember who told her, it was like a doctor of some kind, and they said to her, it's basically like you're running from a lion and your body is filled with adrenaline, and you have to run. So if you like walk on the spot, you know, really fast, walk around your house, walk around the garden, jog around the garden, even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, just go and do it, because your body feels like it's being chased by some aggressive lion. Oh yeah, little flashback, look at this, look at my salvia when I planted it and I thought it was dead and it was never gonna survive. 2 months ago it was. Look at it now. Yeah, so I've got it in my head like maybe I should try that, but it doesn't always work for me. It doesn't always work. And not only that, can you imagine Nick checking the cameras, because the camera's gone off in the back garden at like flipping 1:45. Gab, why are you jogging around the garden 1:45? Like, what's going on here? And then trying to explain to him what's going on in my head. No, I'm just giving you a moment here to look at my salvia. Yeah, my beautiful salvia that I thought had died. And I thought, well, I'll give it a chance. It probably won't, but it has, and it's beautiful. It's more beautiful. It's more vibrant in real life. I don't know why it's not coming up on camera, but anyway. So basically, because of this is the next morning from my anxiety attack. I went out and went, I'm going to have to go and attack the bushes. I'm going to have to. So I went out. Look at me. What a sexy little sight in my pyjamas. Pyjamas and my scruffy jumper. And my little gilet. My little dog walking gilet. I'm out there hacking at the bushes like it's their fault. Like, I'm going to cut you down because you're giving me grief. It's not giving me grief. It's not giving me any kind of grief whatsoever. But I did feel better about it, because I do find that the best time to clear your mind is in your garden. So there you go. I hope everyone's well. I hope you haven't got anxiety, and I will see you in my next one.